Hello everybody, it's Brilliance World 1. I'm at home in my backyard chilling, enjoying this beautiful day. Beautiful day. I'm going to dive in this pool in a few minutes. I'm making this video real quickly to speak about, I don't get a chance to watch a lot of TV because of my schedule. I'm so busy. But I caught Oprah Winfrey's interview with Pharrell Williams. Pharrell Williams, music producer, he's done work with everybody. Snoop Dogg, Drop It Like It's Hot, which is one of my favorite songs. He's worked with Beyonce, he's worked with everybody. And I like Pharrell, honestly. I did like Pharrell. But last night's interview he did with Oprah was kind of interesting. Pharrell spoke about, during the interview, Oprah Winfrey asked Pharrell about the controversy regarding his album cover. And all the biracial and white models on there, and no models that were dark-skinned, African-American, or even African descent of any kind were on the album cover. And Pharrell mentioned that he got a lot of static and a lot of heat behind that from critics. But the way he answered Oprah was quite controversial. I wonder if anybody caught that. He mentioned, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't have the exact video. I wish I did. I put the link to it, but it hasn't been, nobody's released it yet. Pharrell mentioned that his critics were the type of black people who are closed-minded and they're stuck in the past. He said there's a new black, and he's a new black. And he never quite, he explained it very eloquently what that meant about the new blacks. But I already knew what he meant, because there's a lot of people who put themselves in this category of being the new black. The new blacks are the type that they have no connection, no type of feelings of the past. They feel that's obsolete. That's the way black people are segregated, the way they think, their thought process. They don't have any connection to that. They feel that your color is not the most important thing in your life. You shouldn't gravitate towards things of color. You should make friendships in all walks of life, not just friends who look like you. You should not only like things that pertain to you. You should, the new blacks are the type, and I'm saying this because not just celebrities have this mentality. There are regular people who have this mentality. The new blacks don't believe in the black community. They believe in their member of the entire, wherever they are, whoever they associate with, identify with, is their community. Meaning, if they have a lot of friends of different ethnic groups, that's their community. They don't necessarily consider themselves a member of the black community. They've checked out of the black community. They feel it's a lost cause, and they don't want to be associated with it anymore. And even though Pharrell said it in a very nice way, that's what he was saying, to be honest. That's what he was really saying. And I'm surprised he was brave enough to say it. There are a lot of people who feel that way who would never say it. Pharrell said it. He said he's the new black, and that's what that means. And I've seen a lot of new blacks. Many of the new blacks are anti-black too, by the way. They don't like to talk about struggle and pain and black-oriented topics. They feel that, a lot of new blacks feel that black people have been the ones who hurt them the most. Because when you're around people, whoever you're around, the most people you're around are the ones that are going to hurt you the most. White people, some of them have been abused by their own people. So they're the ones who are going to hurt you the most, the ones you've been around the most. So sometimes people who consider themselves the new blacks, they feel blackness is pain, blackness is struggle. The people they've been around, they grew up around, they were raised around, did things to hurt them. So they don't really want to associate with other black people, to be honest. I've seen many of people who are the new blacks. Many of the people. Not just celebrities, like I said, but regular, everyday people who have that mentality. They just don't like other blacks. The new blacks, many of them are anti-black. Many of them are. We see it on YouTube all the time. Many of them are anti-black. They don't want nothing to do with the community at all. They feel it's a lost cause. They feel it's already died, and there's no reason to have a connection to people who are losers and failures. That's how the new blacks think. I'm being honest now. I'm being real. The new blacks who have this mentality only associate with people on their income level or higher. They don't associate with anyone else. They don't want to. If you come around them and you're not on their level, they don't deal with you. They might be polite, but they don't deal with you. They won't invite you to their home or into their life, really. They feel like a lot of blacks have a crabs in the barrel mental illness, and they don't want to be affected by it, so they stay away. If you ever notice, many black people who are doing well, you don't see them in the hood. You never will. They're the new blacks. The new blacks have a zero tolerance for complaints about the struggle. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to. They talk about very mediocre things, upbeat. They're very usually positive. They want to talk about happy stuff. They don't want to talk about anything controversial. They don't want to hear it. And if you start talking about controversial things, they don't deal with you. They only want to talk about happy stuff. They have completely been indoctrinated into mainstream society. So I've noticed that many of the new blacks have that mentality. But I want to say to the black people who are the new blacks, who may find my video by accident, who may just be seeing it because of Pharrell, you're going to get a rude awakening. I don't care how well you're doing, how many white friends you have, how successful you are, if you live in a gated community, if you're doing well and you are so far removed from the blacks who are that are not doing well. I want to tell you, you will be reminded of who you really are. Oprah Winfrey had reminders. Remember when she got sued? When she got sued for saying something on her show about stop eating meat or something, and all those ranchers sued her and hauled her into court, and she was talked to so roughly. She wasn't called the N-word, but she might as well said it. They talked to her so roughly and treated her so badly, was trying to make her lose everything she worked for. Oprah Winfrey went through that. Oprah Winfrey been turned on also by other people. And she's on the highest level you can get on, just about. And she experienced racism. Remember when she went to Tina Turner's wedding, and she was in another, I think she was in Switzerland, she went to a high-end store to buy a purse, and how they treated her in there? We're talking to Oprah Winfrey. Even she got a reminder that I don't care if you got $1 billion in the bank. You're not one of us. We don't consider you one of us. You're one that we can tolerate, but you're not one of us. Michael Jackson, who I loved. I was a big fan of Michael's. Michael got reminded. I don't care what he changed his skin tone to look like. He still was treated very badly and reminded of who he was. O.J. Simpson. O.J. Simpson was the most likable, smiley face black man back in the day. I remember as a kid seeing him running through airports on the Hertz commercials. He was very loved and very accepted. But when that stuff went on with his ex-wife and him, and he was accused of her murder, that all went away. He was the most hated man in the world. Now, don't get me wrong. There have been other people who have done things like Michael and O.J. Woody Allen comes to mind. He was accused of having sex with his daughter. What's his name? Phil Spector was accused of killing a white woman, and he was convicted of it, and he's in jail now. But they didn't get the harshness of the treatment that Michael Jackson and O.J. Simpson got. So I'm telling you, these blacks who are the new blacks, they will be reminded of who they are, because I don't care how many white friends you have and how well you're doing, you're not one of them, and they will eventually remind you, you don't belong here. We're tolerating you. We're not totally accepting you, really. You'll be reminded of that. I'm not saying that you should stay amongst people who don't progress, people who are not successful. If you don't want to be around that, you shouldn't be. I agree with that. But never feel that you're a new black. You forgot who you are. You forgot that the only reason why you are where you are, Pharrell and others who feel that way, is because of people from the past who struggled, who got spit on, dogs sicked on them. All the things they went through to make integration happen is why you're where you are, why you're able to do the things you do. Date interracially, all the things that people are doing now that they couldn't even do 30, 40 years ago. That's why you're able to do it. So don't forget that. You're not a new black. You just was one that became successful. That's all. There were people successful back in the day. So what you're doing is not new. You were chosen. You were blessed. And you were blessed for a purpose. You were blessed for a reason. The new blacks who are doing well, who are successful. I'm talking about the ones on my level and higher, because I'm also around a lot of new blacks. They got the things they got because of the people before them struggle. They're not doing nothing new. They were blessed to be able to reach the levels they've reached, and they were blessed so they can be a blessing to other people. I'm not saying let people burden you or use you and all that. I'm saying that you were blessed for a reason. What good is your success if nobody else is able to piggyback off of it and become successful too? What good are you to anybody? You can't take it with you when you pass. So you should help as many others as you can if you're in a position to do that, and not feel like just staying away from people who are not on your level. Not healthy. Anyway, I wanted to make this video to speak about Pharrell and his comments regarding the new blacks. I hope that you guys caught it and heard what he said. I actually feel that he's going to get a surprise wake-up call. All of a sudden you look up and he's being sued by somebody and drugged through the mud, and anything negative about his life is going to come out. So he need to watch what he says about being one of the new blacks. You just were blessed to become successful. Nothing new about that. And you will be reminded of who you are. It'll happen. And then you'll want the support of the blacks that you don't want nothing to do with once you get torn down by the people that you associate with. Anyway, I'll be back soon. Peace.